Alright guys, welcome to my post VCT lock-in agents tier list. This is based on the pro meta at the moment, not like any ranked meta, low ranks, all that kind of stuff, doesn't matter, just the pro level. So if you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the controllers, and with that we're going to start with Brimstone, who I'm going to put in C tier. Um, I don't think he's that bad of an agent. I think he has a baseline of value on pretty much every map. All of his abilities are pretty decent, but he's really only meta on Fracture right now, so I can't really put him too high. And yeah, that's about it. Like, I think the ult is really good. I don't know how they would buff Brimstone. I don't think they should. I think he's good where he is. I just don't know. I don't know how much of a ceiling an agent like him would have. And then Omen, I'm gonna put in A tier. I think he's the best controller, or the second best controller in the game right now, the best primary controller. Um, I think again, all of his abilities are fairly good on every map. I think really the only two maps he's not played at all on are was it Pearl and I guess Fracture 100 Thieves played him, and Navi did, right? Navi, 100 Thieves, and DRX all played him. Okay. But that and Pearl, so and he's pretty good on Lotus, so and all the other maps he is very good on, except for Icebox, I guess. He hasn't played as much on that map, but I still think he's very good on that map. And overall, he just is very strong. And then the actual best controller in the game, I'm gonna put Viper. Uh, I don't think she needs a nerf still. I still think she's very very solid. The alt nerf definitely did a lot. I mean, there's a lot of like counterplay to it now where you can like force the Viper out of her ult with like a Killjoy ult or something. I know like less would sit rafters on Icebox uh with the A site ult on defense and get detained by the Killjoy ult, but just sit up there. And that was really good just to keep the pit alive. But other than that, there's not really that many scenarios where you can kind of live in a Viper's pit. So I think the nerf definitely did something, but everything else very good. She's still 100% pick rate on Icebox. She's seeing some play on Haven now, Pearl, on Fracture. I think DRX played her, so did Navi. Lotus, she's getting a lot of play. Ascent, Loud played her. Split, getting a lot of play there. Overall, I think you could move her up into the S tier. I just think she's replaceable on a lot of maps like Ascent, Haven, Split, Fracture, and like Lotus. I don't think she's a must pick on those maps. So that's why I have her at the top of A tier. She will be the top patient there. And then I'm just going to skip the Astra because she's also in A tier. I think this one's more of an opinionated one rather than stats based, but she's getting picked a lot more on Haven nowadays. Ascent, she's really great on. Split, she's great on. I feel like she's better on Lotus than Omen, but teams prefer Omen. I think that's because she's a more simple agent, so I guess that's fair. I think you can get a lot of value out of a really great Astra, and I'm upset that we didn't get to see a lot of Sugar Zero Astra. We only got to see one map of it. And then Harbor, I'm going to put in B tier, but high in the B tier. I think we're getting into Viper Harbor meta where you can run both of them at the same time. They both seem like secondary controllers, but when you run them together, they work pretty well. Not a combo that I thought it would be. I still think if you're trying to run a Harbor instead of a Viper, you're not going to get too much value out of him. So that's why he's in the B tier. And then onto the duelists, we're going to start with Raze. I think after the Boombot nerf, I'm going to put her high in B tier. I still think you get a lot of value from her util on like Split, Fracture. What other maps are there? I think she's okay on Ascent, but I don't know if she's even close to Jet at all. Lotus, she seems pretty good. Haven, I still think you can get value out of her. Pearl, not so much. I don't think she's as good on Pearl anymore. But overall, I think she's really good. Reyna, D tier, no explanation needed. Just shit agent. Neon, I'm gonna put in C tier. I think there's just a lot of better options right now at duelists. Well, not a lot, but like options that are a lot better. And then Yoru, I'm gonna put in D tier just because I don't think Reyna should be alone in D tier. But I think you can find a little bit of value with Yoru. I think Reyna should have her own tier actually, but I don't think Yoru's in the same tier as like Brimstone or Neon. And then Phoenix, I'm gonna put in C tier behind. I'll put her behind, or put him behind Neon. I think his flash is really good. You can get a lot of value on maps where you can like farm orbs, like Ascent, Haven, Pearl. Even I think he's kind of trending more into the meta on Pearl. Overall, I don't see a ton of value with him on the other maps, and I think he's extremely replaceable on the maps that he's played on. And then Jet, S tier, easy, only agent you can op on in the game. Pretty simple. And yeah, that's it for the duelists. And then onto the Sentinels. We have Cypher, who I'm gonna put in C tier behind Brimstone. Um, Actually, I'll put him ahead of Brimstone. I think you saw in this tournament him getting a little bit more value, especially with the trip buff. I think he's good on most of the maps. I just think there's better options right now. Overall, I'm gonna put Chamber in D tier. Pretty self-explanatory. I think I could move him up to C tier because he's decent on a couple maps, but also I think there's just again better options. Sage, I'm gonna put behind Brimstone in C tier just because she's falling out of the meta a little bit on Icebox. I think she would be at the bottom if Split hadn't come back, because I think she's actually pretty good on that map. Actually, I'll put her ahead because Lotus, I don't actually think she's that bad. Pearl, she's okay. Haven, I could see teams playing her, but not maybe not in this meta. I don't know. Overall, I think she's just a mid agent, as the kids say. And then Killjoy, easy S tier. What was it? 70% pick rate over the course of the tournament. That's 10% higher than Jet. And then Jet was at 60, which was 20 or 19, I guess, percent higher than KO at 41, which are just two insanely high pick rates, and you can't not put them in S tier. And finally, onto the initiators. We're going to start with Breach here, who I have in B tier behind Raze. Actually, I'm going to put him behind Harbor because he hasn't seen a lot of play. Must pick on Fracture, pretty much. I think in like the NA Challengers games, you see him picked on Pearl a little bit, and he seemed to have some decent value. He's decent on Split, really good on Haven, I guess okay on Lotus. Actually, no, he's not okay on Lotus. He's awesome on Lotus. I think, yeah, he's better. I'm still putting him behind him. I think he's really good on like 3 maps, and that's it. He shouldn't be played on any of the other ones. So I think that's just a solid B tier agent. And then Sova, I think I'm gonna put him in A tier, right here around like Viper. He's just the better option than Fade right now. I think you're gonna see a similar relationship between him and Fade as you do with Jet and Chamber, with like the opping agents versus like the recon initiator kind of thing. And Sova is the better one of the two right now, and I don't think you can really debate that. I mean, I think Fade has some better maps like Fracture and Split, but I think on the other 5 maps, Sova's just the better agent. And then Sky, I kind of struggled with this one, but I'm gonna put her in B tier, I think. just at the top of it. I expected her to go down from the last like meta. She's losing her two best maps in split and not split and bind and breeze, but she did get split back, and she seems to fit really well in this Viper Harbor meta, where you can kind of like throw the flash behind the harbor wall and flash through it. So overall, I think she's a solid B tier agent, but I don't see her going anywhere higher than this in the near future. And then KO, this might be a hot take, but I still think he's S tier, even though Sky is kind of taking away a little bit of his pick rate on certain maps. Again, he was the third highest picked agent in the whole tournament. I think you could move him down to like here, and I'm gonna do that because he's only 1% higher than Viper, so it's really interchangeable. I do think he's the third best agent in the game. I don't think that's up for debate, but I think you just get so much value out of his util on every map to where it's just not. I mean, he's insane. I can't like when he came out. I remember he just wasn't getting a lot of playtime for whatever reason, and I just didn't understand it then. And I think he should get more playtime now. I think he should be like a perma pick on Icebox. Haven, I think he could get picked a little bit more, but I don't need him to be picked on that. And then Pearl, I think he should get more playtime. Fracture, yeah, he should. Lotus, definitely, I think he should get more playtime. Ascent, I mean, he's almost an 100% pick rate. Split, yeah, probably, but I think that's probably his worst map. And he's still like a A-tier agent on that map. So I just think he's really solid. And then Fade, I'm gonna put her in B tier, but I don't feel great about that. Kind of similar argument that I made to Sova was so high up, but the other way around, where she's just the worst of the two agents. I think if they buff the Prowler to be a little bit better, I think she could be on the same level as Sova, if not maybe a little bit better. But I don't know if they want to do that. I think the relationship between the two is fine right now, and I think it'll balance itself out as long as they're able to get Chambers play rate up a little bit, and then I think that'll get like the Raze Fade back a little bit. It'll get Jet down, get Killjoy down. I think overall, I just think that would be a good change to make to buff Chamber right now. As insane that is to say, from last year. But then we're on to the new agent, Gekko, who everybody's saying how OP he is. I get it, like you can use the flash a bunch of times in a round, but like if you flash somebody and somebody's playing anti-flash, you kill that guy that's flashed, somebody trades out the Gekko, then you can't use the ability again. Like it's not like it refreshes. Like I get like as long as you live from like flashing for your teammates, sure. But I don't think the being able to pick up the abilities part will be that good. The bomb plant part, eh. I think he's a bottom of the B tier agent. I don't think he would go down to C tier. I think he's only going to go up from this. I think the Molly's okay. I don't know how much value you're going to be able to get from him on the defensive side, especially. He'll probably be very map dependent. Like I think TMV, Thinking Man's Valorant, made a really good video on like what maps he'll be good on, which was about like 2 or 3, which is around a B tier agent. I'm just gonna put him a little bit lower, just in case he is not good. But yeah, with that's gonna be my agent tier list. I thought this would be a nice, quick little video on a day that I really didn't feel like recording too much. But yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna continue, or maybe not tomorrow, but at some point I'm gonna continue with the VCT lock-in recap series. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.